Hello and welcome to SGPN's Daily Dog. I'm your host, Britton Hess. I'm here with my favorite Underdog fantasy pick'em plays for Monday, March 3rd, 2025. If you're new to Underdog Fantasy, sign up with promo code DailyDog, that's DAILYDOG at UnderdogFantasy.com or on the Underdog Fantasy app. You'll get a 50% deposit match bonus worth up to $1,000. 50% means you get 50% of whatever you deposit back as bonus funds, which is up to $1,000. So if you deposit $2,000 on Underdog, you get $1,000 for free. If you deposit $10, you get $5 for free. However much you want to put on, you can put in $2 and get an extra $1 for free with promo code DailyDog. So no limit to how little or big you can go for the most part, unless you are a true high roller. In that case, $1,000 is still $1,000. So take it. Use that promo code DailyDog. I also got to note that Underdog has been consistently offering promos on the app for existing members, 30% boosts in every sport, 50% boost, 60% boost, all sorts of stuff in your account. Log in every day and just check and see what's there. Don't have to play every day, but if you like my picks, if you like the app, you might as well take advantage of the boosts that they're giving you, because it is definitely a fun way to play and sweat out games. And again, you can risk a little to win a lot. You can risk a little to win a little. You can risk a lot to win a lot. However you want to do it, Underdog has you covered when it comes to player projections. All right, let's get into it. Let's start out with the NBA, then we're going to go to the NHL. We got a college hoops entry, and then we got 2 lottos at the end of the show today. Oh, and also, I say this at the end, but I'll say it early. If you're somebody who listens or watches the show on YouTube daily, you should hit subscribe. We've got a weird amount of people who listen all the time but don't subscribe to the show. So subscribe to the Daily Dog wherever you get your podcasts, or on the YouTube channel. The Daily Dog-SGPN is the channel name. All right, NBA number 1. We're going to go with Lamelo Ball, higher than 3.5 3-pointers made. The 3-point king, Steph Curry, is coming into their arena. Good spot for Lamelo Ball to hit 4+ 3-pointers here. He's going to take plenty of shots. So you just hope that he has marginal efficiency here, which it's hard for him to get into a rhythm because he sits out every other game. But he should be here. He should be trying to put on a show for Steph coming into town. Higher than 3.5 3-pointers made for Lamelo Ball. And then next up in this entry is a projection that I absolutely love. Jonas Valanciunas, higher than 0.5 double-doubles for the Kings as they take on the Dallas Mavericks. Valanciunas looking like a very smart acquisition for the Kings because Domantas Sabonis is injured. Valanciunas playing more minutes at center. He is a board machine. He should have plenty of opportunities to score some high percentage shots in this game as well. Jonas Valanciunas is a machine when it comes to boards, and also, again, the high percentage shots are there, and they're there because there's so many injuries to forwards and centers for the Mavs. They're just so thin in the interior. The best way to beat them is just feeding Jonas Valanciunas, so I like him to have higher than 0.5 double-doubles. That with Lamelo Ball higher than 3.5 3-pointers made is a 2.43x multiplier. A little conservative, but at the end of the day, it's about winning. It's not about having the biggest number on every single entry. And if you want the bigger number on the entries, check out the Lotto entries at the end of the show. Next NBA entry, Max Christie, higher than 13.5 points. I talked about how the forwards are all banged up for the Mavs. Max Christie, guy came over from the Lakers, been playing pretty well with them. Higher than 13.5 points. You can score a lot of points against this Kings team. I think Christie is going to get high into the double digits here. Higher than 13.5 points for Max Christie. And then I swear this wasn't intentional, but I ended up back on the same game. Both entries are featuring the same 2 games. So paired with Max Christie, higher than 13.5 points, is Mark Williams, center of the Charlotte Hornets, higher than 0.5 doubles. You know that I like centers against the Warriors. If you listen to the show at all, I like centers or forwards against the Warriors. Mark Williams has been playing very well lately. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder because the Lakers didn't want him. They didn't think he was healthy. Well, he's been showing he's plenty healthy lately. Higher than 0.5 double-doubles here is the entry. This is a 2.8x multiplier with those 2 gentlemen. NHL entry number 1. We're going to go with Linus Ullmark, higher than 2.5 goals against. I think that the Caps are going to score some goals at home here. Higher than 2.5 goals against for Linus Ullmark. The Capitals need to get a win at the end of this homestand. They opened this homestand with the win. Let's see if they can close it with a win. 3 goals definitely on the menu. Let's start off fast. Let's get 2 in the first period, Caps. How's that sound? And then I'm going to pair that with Anze Kopitar, higher than 0.5 assists. The Kings are going to Chicago. The Blackhawks are fat and happy after getting a nice road win against the Ducks. Kopitar assist in the last game. Kopitar, a great assist man, a great veteran. I think there's going to be plenty of goals available against this Blackhawks team. 3 or 4 goals for the Kings is on the menu. If they get 3 or 4 goals, I would be very surprised if Kopitar doesn't have at least 0.5 assists in that one. 3.01x multiplier for Kopitar, higher than 0.5 assists, and Ullmark higher than 2.5 goals against. NHL number 2, Sam Reinhart. Tampa Bay is coming to town and playing against the Florida Panthers. I'm taking Sam Reinhart, the leading point man of this awesome Panthers team, higher than 0.5 points. Just get a goal, get an assist, a helper, get a goal, whatever. Higher than 0.5 points for Sam Reinhart. Should be a fairly tightly contested game, like 3-2 Panthers, 4-2 Panthers, something like that. Again, he's just such a good point scorer that if they get 3 goals, I'm very confident Reinhart is going to get one of them. Next up, Alex Ovechkin, higher than 0.5 goals. I just told you I think Ullmark is going to allow 3 or more goals in this one. If they allow 3 or more goals, high likelihood Ovechkin is contributing to that goal performance. Ovi is one of the guys that I don't really play points. I always play goals because he doesn't really care about the assists. He wants those. He's chasing greatness. He's chasing the great one when it comes to goals. So higher than 0.5 goals for Alex Ovechkin. He's going to get the puck on net. Let's go. 2.54x multiplier if those two come home. As I said, high probability of Reinhart getting a point. High probability of Ovechkin getting a goal. 2.54x multiplier. Again, not always about having the biggest number. All right, college hoops number 1. Cooper Flagg, higher than 20.5 points as Duke hosts Wake Forest. Wake Forest gave them a close game when they played in Winston-Salem earlier this year. Cooper Flagg, one of the greatest players in college hoops this season, and he's just a freshman. He's going to be obviously high draft pick next year, or this year, I should say. Higher than 20.5 points because I do think that this is going to be a pretty back and forth game for at least the first, 30, 35 minutes of game time here. If it's back and forth, Flagg should be putting up shots. Flagg should be scoring some points. So higher than 20.5 points for our guy, Cooper Flagg. He's been awesome for Duke all season long. And again, he's capable of having these crazy, these crazy games where he just crushes his point total. Lately, he hasn't gotten over 20.5 for a while. This is a good spot at home for him to get back on track and get 21 or more points in this one. Next up, we are going to go with Tyler Bilodeau, higher than 4.5 rebounds for UCLA. His last 3 games where he's actually, played a full complement of minutes, he's done this. He got banged up in a game, 3 games ago and was not, got banged up 2 games ago and was not able to, get boards there. But his last 3 completed games, he's had higher than 4.5 boards, no problem. I think that it's going to be tough to get good looks for Northwestern here, so there should be lots of balls off rim. Let's get this big forward, 6'9" forward out of Washington for UCLA, higher than 4.5 boards. 2.82x multiplier with Flagg higher than 20.5 points and Bilodeau higher than 4.5 rebounds. All right, let's get into the fun stuff. Lotto number 1, Anfernee Simons higher than 24.5 points. Simmons against the Sixers here. Sixers are just a team that loves to allow people to have big games. They love to get blown out. Simmons has been pretty solid when it comes to scoring lately. Last game, 27 points. 4 games go 28. 5 games go 25. So 3 out of his last 5 games, he's had higher than 24.5 points. He's averaging only 18.7 per game. But again, I think this matchup is going to be in his favor to have a big scoring game. Anfernee Simons higher than 24.5 points. Then we're going to go with the Hawks forward on the road against Memphis. Onyeka Okongwu higher than 9.5 boards. He's generally right around this number, but I do think the high total, 253.5, means there's going to be a lot of shots on that get thrown up. I think there's going to be plenty of opportunities for Okongwu to get double-digit boards here, so higher than 9.5 boards. Then I'm going with Jonas Valanciunas, higher than 13.5 boards. Again, he's going to eat inside against the Mavericks here. Valanciunas higher than 13.5 boards. Then Macklin Celebrini of the Sharks, higher than 0.5 assists on the road against the Maple Leafs. If you listen to Just Win Sports, you know that I'm a big fan of the Sharks playing well for 40 to 45 minutes, maybe even 50 minutes in each game. They don't close well. Celebrini has been having a great season, though. Higher than 0.5 assists here. He has been a helper machine as of late. Just on the year, he's got 26 assists, but in his last several games, last game 2 assists, 2 games 2 assists. He's gotten 4 assists in the last 5 games. It's just he is developing. The young first-round pick from last year is developing very well. So this 4-pick Lotto entry, 28.14x multiplier, or if you go Flex 16.88x/3.87x. Lotto number 2, Steph Curry, higher than 5.5 3-pointers made. Going into his home county in Charlotte, higher than 5.5 points, or higher than 5.5 3-pointers made. Kyrie Irving, higher than 32.5 points. He should have a massive game against the Kings here. Jalen Duren, higher than 13.5 boards. Again, I think that he's going to have plenty of opportunities to pull down some rebounds against the Jazz. And then JT Miller, higher than 0.5 goals for the New York Rangers. This is 29.85x multiplier, or if you flex it, 17.91x or 3.92x if it goes 3-4-4. All right, happy Monday. That's all I got for you today. Take advantage of the promos. Check out $5 challenge on social media from me. Thank you for listening, and let's make some money.